My name is Anthony Johndrow. I'm Managing Director of Reputation Institute. Reputation Institute is a global advisory and research firm headquartered here in New York with offices in 8 countries around the world and associate offices in another 15. I'm responsible for our U.S. advisory business and work with Fortune 500 CEOs and their senior executive teams on creating value from reputation, helping them optimize their intangible assets and really applying some rigor to that exercise. I've been working with Praxis for a little over a year to get into conversations with the companies who are serious about focusing on their corporate reputation. Who is Reputation Institute? Well, a few years ago, we did some research and saw that the link between intangible asset value and market cap was a very close one. In fact, in 1950, the book value of a company, its tangible assets, was roughly equivalent to its market cap. But by the 1980s, there was about an even split between tangible asset value and intangible asset value in terms of what made up the market cap of your average publicly traded company. Now, if you think about the management consulting firms of the world, you think about the strategy and finance MBAs that have been joining the ranks of business for the past 20 or 30 years, what they've really been focused on are applying tools that optimize tangible assets. Well, where are the tools that are going to help them optimize their intangible assets? Reputation Institute exists to provide those tools to help firms optimize their intangible asset value and thus increase their market cap, or at least protect their market cap. What we do, grounded in the academic research that our founders started almost 20 years ago, is take some tools grounded in theory, sound academic theory, to take and break down tangible assets so that you can act on them. When you're talking about brand or reputation, these are fuzzy things. How do you approach them? How do you tackle something as broad as reputation? Well, we not only quantify the value of it, but we break it down so that it's actionable. We turn it into the pieces that you need to turn it into in order to act on it. One of the core tenets of the way we operate is really providing companies with outside-in perspective. If you're thinking about reputation, you're often talking about relationships. You're talking about relationships with stakeholders that are critical to your business. If you don't know what those stakeholders want, if you don't know what's important to them, how can you know that what you're communicating to them is sticking? How do you know that you're being relevant? How do you know that what you're saying is resonating with their needs? From our eyes perspective, if you understand stakeholder needs, you can then translate that, move from reputation and quantifying this big picture to very specific actions. So much so that we believe that through our approach and through bringing quantitative methods to these intangible assets, you can create a bottom line case, or a real solid business case for the connection between reputation, which equals stakeholder perception, and your bottom line. Now, our vision for the future, of course, is if these decision support systems based on our quantitative tools are put in place, then your chief communications officers, your chief marketing officers, your chief reputation officers are going to be able to sit down in the boardroom next to their colleagues from finance, the general counsel, folks who have CFO in their title, for example, and go toe-to-toe, be able to say, backing everything that they're saying with the same degree of rigor and math, in fact, that their financial counterparts bring to the table for assets or decisions around tangible assets of the firm. I heard about Praxis Group in the course of my frustration, as anybody who's been in professional services knows, with trying to figure out how to get in front of the companies I knew could use our services. So as I was exploring various ways to do that and engaged in a lot of different networking activity, I encountered an executive from Praxis, started a conversation, which resulted in the relationship we have today. In searching for a partner that led us to the relationship we now have with Praxis Group, we were really looking for a company who could really partner with us and help us understand both ways we could improve in our overall sales process and our relationship and managing relationships with customers, but also someone who could really pick up where we left off and really take on the responsibility for broadening our reach and connecting and starting conversations that result in those connections with a number of companies.